A warm welcome to Alan's Allotment, guys. If it's your first time on here, please do consider hitting the subscribe button and the little bell icon on the right. And every time I put up a new video, you'll be alerted. This channel is a bit of a mixed bag. We have rare coloured racing pigeons, we have racing pigeons, we have fantails, we have a no-dig growing area that we transformed, and we have a polytunnel. We also do several DIY projects on this channel, guys. Not all of them are successful, some are a complete disaster, but follow me along and you'll see. It's no holds barred, basically. If I make a mistake on these videos, you get to see it in all its glory and you get a laugh at my expense. I don't mind, and I hope you enjoy the videos, guys. To all my subscribers currently, a massive thank you as always. And as I say, if you're new here, guys, please do consider hitting the subscribe button and the little bell icon on the right, and that would be much appreciated. I'll see you later, guys. Morning, guys, warm welcome to Alan's Allotment. Hope everybody's staying safe, being practical and keeping themselves out of harm's way. 2nd of August 2020. Right, so yesterday, as I say, I just couldn't find any motivation, and to be perfectly honest, I don't have a great deal today either. In my head I want to do miracles and hundreds of things, but physically not feeling, at this moment in time, I'm not feeling it. So what I did do yesterday is I did go to B&Q and we did get the 3x2 timbers. I brought those up with me this morning and I've unloaded them into the growing area, pushed them through the fence, and they're there ready to be stacked in the garage. I know I really have to get moving and get cracking and get something done, but like I say, I'm struggling with motivation. In my head I'm planning all sorts, what I want to do and what I want to get done, but in reality when I get up here, I'm really struggling to find motivation just lately. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to get done today, if anything, but if I do, I'll bring you guys along with me. For now, guys, thanks for watching. Right, guys, I'm back in the shed already. I say already, it's 20 to 1. Yeah, so basically what I've done this morning is I've topped up all the 25 litre water containers again. And I've been in the shed and I've been round all of the corn dustbins in the sheds as well, in the 5 sheds. And we've mixed the corn up for the birds, according to what they're actually doing, whether they're breeding or just resting up. Obviously the heavier feed is for the breeders, so we got that done as well. That in itself was quite an effort. I think it's just the way I am at the moment. I'm just I did say in one of my earlier videos, I think it was sort of around the time that COVID had broke out, I do have some underlying health issues, and it's playing me up a little bit, but it's not cause for concern. It's just making me tired, and from a physical aspect, and I just struggle with the motivation as well now as a result of that, because once I get started on things, I find myself having to stop very, very early on, whereas I would normally have kept on plodding on. But little and often wins the day, as they say. Now, like it or not, I'm trying to think of things I can get done whilst I'm feeling this way. So we've got that done, and that was quite an effort, but it's done now. But I'm thinking now I'm going to have to pull that right on more out. The grass is still quite wet, and we had a lot of rain again last night. and I'm not sure how this is going to go, but the grass is getting really long again. And I think another thing is that lots of things are catching me up, and some of my motivation is draining purely simply because things are getting back on top of me again. Now, it doesn't matter how much I go at this, something comes along weather-wise to hold you back from doing something, and whereas I would normally have got the grass cut a week or a fortnight ago, I couldn't because the rain was too bad. So again, it's the old Mother Nature thing. You've got to do what you can when you can and while you can. So I'm basically just going to have this cup of coffee, pull out the lawnmower, and I'm going to, if I get nothing else done today, guys, I'm going to have to get this, try and get this grass down. Otherwise, next weekend, and then it's assuming it's dry next weekend, it's going to be up around my ears if I don't do it. I know that's a bit of an exaggeration, but technically, if it gets any longer than it is now, it will be a real chore even with the ride-on mower, and more time consuming, having to go over. As it is, I'm going to have to go at the highest level, cut it down, cut it, and it's going to take 3 or 4 going over just to get it somewhere near again, guys. I'm not bothered if I don't get the edges trimmed and trimmed. I'm not bothered. I just need to get the main area. The chicken pen is also looking like a wilderness again, so I'm going to have to try and get in there whilst I've got the mower out. And hopefully the weather's going to last out long enough that I can do that. It's gone extremely warm, but it's dull and overcast. And it looks like it might be threatening some rain. So, however, I haven't said that. Just as I say that, the sun's starting to poke up again. So I'm going to have this cup of coffee, guys, stop babbling, and I'm going to jump on the road more, and hopefully we're going to at least get the grass cut today if we get nothing else. I'll see you later, guys. Bye. Oh, just another quick update I forgot to mention, guys, before I sign off there. Over in the fantails shed, we've now got 4 youngsters. There is 2 up in the top nest. They've been paired together for ages, but we've got no eggs or anything out of them. And I have a funny feeling that the 2 cocks that's paired together. Now, we did put an extra hen in there, the yellow hen, and it's being completely ignored. So I'm thinking of actually separating that pair that's in the top right hand corner and leaving one of the cocks in there, because I believe it's possibly 2 cocks. We've had no eggs. It certainly can't be 2 hens, or they would have both laid. So I'm going to separate those, and I'm going to leave the yellow hen in there and see if that cock picks up with that hen. But we have 4 young fantails in there now, guys. Also in where the young birds have been put, not the second round but the first round, and I said we had an indigo hen in there, double factor indigo hen and a yellow pie cock that's blind in one eye. They've laid 2 eggs, as you know, and one of those has hatched this morning as well. So that's just a little bit of an update. I did get myself some more seeds as well, by the way, so I've got some more breakfast radish. Just to give you an example, I did order some of these because at the time Premier Seeds didn't have any from another company, and I got 200 seeds for $2.75, which was extortionate, but I wanted some. And then Premier Seeds got them back in stock, and for about £1.35 I got 4 packets of these, and there's 1,200 seeds in each pack. So quite a lot of seed in there, but there's the difference, guys. I also got myself some Birth Alpha cucumber seeds, and you can see you get quite a lot in there as well, guys. And apparently these are the smaller cucumbers, but really fat cucumbers. And I know I really do need to get some winter veg potted in, and those beds all tidied up, stripped out, and but I'm still toying with what I'm actually going to do here, guys. I really don't know. The infestation of insects over there as well has put me on a bit of a downer. I'm getting fed up with it now. Even with the coverings on there, you start to get things right, and then this happens. If anybody does know what those are, guys, please do give me some, steer me in the right path of how I can get rid of them and stop them in future. Any good tips on things to keep them at bay, get rid of them completely, or even try and deter them arriving in the first place, that would be good and much appreciated. I'll see you later, guys. Right, guys, it's now 2 hours later. And as you can see, we've finally got the grass cut down in the chicken pen. And the birds have been really enjoying this. Scratton must have disturbed a lot of insects, and the hens have positively been digging in the grass and getting all the insects. They've thoroughly enjoyed it. More importantly, I'm a happy chappy, but it's taken 2 hours. I basically had to go over this 4 times to get it back down to a manageable level, so we can keep on top of this. We don't want it to get out of hand. And as I say, the weather keeps turning against me, and I have so many other things to do. I suppose I'm my own worst enemy, because I keep thinking I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do that, and then I basically run out of time, and I don't have enough. There isn't enough hours in a day to do everything I would like to do. So I'm going to have a rethink, guys, about just what I do, what takes priority, what takes precedence. Instead of just charging full steam ahead. Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm going to have to do bit by bit. But I think you'll agree, the grass is looking not too bad considering. I did actually dig it up a bit with the lawnmower down there. It's a bit churned up because this ground is really sodden. But yeah, we even got up round the back of the. We need to keep on top of it because it's a big area, guys. And if I let it go, you're going to get the bramble back again and all the weeds that I spoke about in an earlier video. As I say, it used to all be like this, up against the fence, and it was this high and higher in places. But at least we've got it all on a positive note. Those are both now full, those IBCs, guys. So that's 2,000 litres there. The other one's full, 3,000. And then we've got 5 rain barrels over in the growing area, which are all full. So we're nearly 4,000 litres of water now, guys. In fact, just over. But yeah, so we've got it cut. 2 hours down the line, and that's with a ride on mower, guys. So can you imagine what this would have been like if I'd been trying to tackle it with the hand mower as normal? Yeah. I'm going for a coffee, guys. I'll see you in a minute. Oh, that's nice. Hey guys, as I say, there just isn't enough hours in a day to do everything I need to do. It's now 20 to 3 in the afternoon, and all I've got done is all the water containers, all the feed bins, and the grass cut. Granted, the grass was really long this time. It had got out of control. 4 times I had to go over both those areas, and it's taken 2 hours to get it down to that level, and that's without doing any trimming or anything like that. But yeah, it's a positive. It's a good day's work considering I had no motivation whatsoever. Thankfully, all I had to do was sit on the lawnmower and drive it and change gears and steer it. I've actually only had that ride on mower for 2 years. Prior to that, I used to cut all of this by hand with the petrol lawnmower, and it used to take, as I say, it could take an entire day for to do both sides and get it all trimmed down and everything. It was a full day and sometimes a day and a half just doing that. That was without doing the birds, and that was before I restarted on the growing area as well, by the way, because I just let that turn into a wilderness, lost the will with it, and it laid like that for about 3 years. So I only had the pigeons at the time then and the chickens. But yeah, it's annoying because there's so much more I want to do, but things are slow going now and I have to keep taking frequent breaks. So some days I can just crack on and get on, and some weekends I don't have an issue, I just carry on. And then other times I get wiped out, and basically it takes its toll on me even just doing simple things. But yeah, and this weekend just happens to be one of those. There's so much I want to do, but we'll just have to be settled and contented with what we've got done. Right, on the positive note, I've got next week to do at work, and then I've got 6 days off. I've taken the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. So I'm hoping, I'm feeling a bit better, the weather's a bit kinder, and I can get caught up with everything again at that point, and then I'll be a really happy chappy. I'm actually getting to a point now where I don't care if I don't grow anything at all for the rest of the season. We'll just get what's in the polytunnel, good or bad, and that'll do me. If those cabbages and broccoli turn into anything, fine. If they don't, I'm just sick of fighting now, guys. So I'm going to have this cup of coffee, and then I'm probably going to call it a day. If I do get anything else done though, I'll bring you along. So for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye. Right guys, so what we've got here is we've got 20 lengths here of 3x2 timbers. It's 3x2 carcass and kit timber basically. It's just short of £3 a length. We've got 20 lengths here, so I'm just putting that inside the garage, keep it dry, out of the way, and maybe on our 6 days off and feeling a bit better, we might get this greenhouse started. I will try to video that, guys, and show you that sort of as we progress. Try and give you a bit of maybe a bit of time-lapse video on that one, and or at least in stages. Alright guys, see you later. Right guys, I decided to give myself a shake and try and find my mojo. So I've actually got quite a bit done in the end. I'm really tired now and struggling a little bit, but we've got something done. I'll just give you a quick look. So what I decided to do is, I sat there thinking, right, I'm going to give up on the beds. But then I thought, these have come so far, I really need to try and at least save them. So, although I don't like doing this, guys, I've dug out the insecticide. We've made a batch up. I came over here, we took off the netting, and I jest you not, these things were covered. They were just full of these little black insects we saw yesterday. The kale, we left those hoping that they would attack those, but they had worked their way into the bed, and they'd also started on the cauliflowers and the broccoli. However, as you can see, they're dead. But these were completely infested. They were everywhere. They were absolutely covered in them. Right down in between the leaves and everything. And as you can see now, there's one or two on the surface, dead. And we did spray underneath the leaves as well. I also got in there and I've basically cut off all the bottom leaves and took out any decaying leaves that was in there. Likewise with these, they weren't even making their way across here, but just for the record, that one's got a hole in it. Right, so we've cut the worst of the leaves off on these, and we've pretty much left these. Also, one or two have got a tiny hole in them, but I can't take too much foliage off. They've already had one severe cropping back. But these ones weren't too bad, actually. That leaf one's cut off there, which I'll do before I go. But these weren't too bad. They weren't as and they aren't too bad. They aren't really. Luckily, I've got it just in time. But there's a hole in that one there. I just want to get this for the record, then I can remember and see. And another hole in that one there. I don't want to cut that entire leaf off. But yeah. And any that I've actually cut across square with a pair of scissors, I know that I just cut off the bad leaf. It isn't fresh. So this is mainly for my records. So basically we've sprayed everything in here again, underneath and on the top. In fairness, this is their first spray. That's their second, but this is their first spray. Another thing, guys, I pulled all these turnips out of here and threw them away, because basically they were just a massive red foliage. There were holes all over them, infected. There was those little insects all over those as well, and I thought it's just a breeding ground for those insects. So I decided I would pull them out, and you'll see now what I've done is it's a long shot to nothing. I've pulled out some of the beetroot from the other bed, 2, 4, 6 there. I've put in there, And this is a limed bed, so I've put 6 in there, guys. Snowball turnips, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try 6 of those in there. They were just little wee tiny things. I've harvested the rest. I'll show you them in a minute. And then this one's got no lime on. As you see, it was just, as we know, it was just a potato bed. And I've put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 13 or 14 of the beetroot in here as well. And this is going to get covered back over again, guys. So these ones will get protected. These will be left to their own devices, but they have had a spray down. And we'll see what happens. Likewise, we lifted the cage off these and give them a spray just on the off chance. I'm going to pull these last 4 plants out of here so that nothing can settle on there, even though one of them does look to be okay. In fact, 2 of them look to be okay. I'm probably going to pull them anyway, guys. Took out all the snow globe turnips out of here now, and all that's left in here is a few beetroot, and they're not really doing anything. There's no bulb on any of them, so they might even come out completely, but I'm just leaving the cover off now, guys. They're just getting left to their own devices. If we pull them out next weekend, perhaps, but yeah, I'm running out of time now, guys. It's 6 o'clock in the evening, and I've had enough, basically. Hopefully the carrots will amount to something. They seem to be doing okay, but these beds are absolutely rubbish. We need some proper cow manure on here and some top dressing with some good compost this winter. In here where the I didn't pull the cauliflowers out, what I've done is I've actually sprayed those down. I've had this cover up and I've sprayed those over as well, sprayed just to see how effective it is and whether they continue to get annihilated. So I'm taking some onions home with me that I was drying out in the garage. I've got a few there. And these are the little snow globe turnips that I've managed to get out. There's maybe 6 or 8. So we'll find out what they're like. They don't look too bad. What they taste like is another kettle of fish. But we'll see, guys. I'll see you later for the final roundup. Right, guys, we finally got the cover back on there. This really is a nuisance, pulling these over, trying to hold them down one side and go over the other side, trying to hold them down the other side. Got to come up with something better than this. And the time that I've spent, it's took me nearly 15 minutes just to pull these back on, try and get them somewhere near tight, and the vegetables sort of tucked in there. But yeah, it's took nearly 15 minutes to do this, believe it or not. It's a bit of a pain, and bending down, yeah. I need to try and think of something better than this. I really do. Maybe make these even higher. I've got to have a think about this, guys. Right, so what I've done here is, as well, I've had a bit of a weed in this bed. I've ripped out all the rhubarb. It was green, it hadn't gone red, so we've basically just chucked it. But we've had a bit of a weeding down in there. We've also chopped all of this rhubarb back as well. Interestingly, there was a lot of these little insects, whatever they are, underneath the rhubarb leaves, all over the rhubarb leaves. So that's another reason why these were pulled. But one, because that was all coming over into the path. 2, we've had a good feed of rhubarb, we can't complain, and these are going to be moved at the back end, and they're going to be transplanted elsewhere. And this is going to be used as a carrot bin. It's at least 2 feet deep, and it'll be a load of manure in there, and then we're going to pull these out, and we're going to use that as a carrot bin, see if we can get a good little harvest of carrots in there later in the year. Likewise, we've done a bit of weeding in here, guys. We've weeded this down, and I've decided, not yet, but at another date, that far from actually taking these out altogether, I'm going to use either some nice, what do they call it? decking boards, or substantial broad boards, scaffolding boards, anything at all, or even tin sheets. And I'm going to actually raise these up till about this height. I'm going to bring these right up and just fill them up with cow manure and compost and everything, and they are going to become the strawberry beds. And likewise with that one down there, they're going to be raised right up, kept as narrow as they are, but the strawberries will go on the top of there, guys. And hopefully they'll be planted near the front so they can hang over the sides. But we'll put a membrane down as well to stop weed coming up, and we'll plant through the holes, and that's my intentions. Then we'll put a little bit of a framing up around this, something with a roll up front, similar to what I'd said yesterday about putting a ladder in there, and that might still happen yet. That might be put a ladder with something else on there, I don't know yet. Yeah, so that's another job, a couple of job that we got done. Like I say, I'm still not happy about this. This is potentially going to be, I'm thinking about taking this out, certainly at the back end, if not sooner. And we're going to put some beds in like that, but not full size, not a full 8 foot. They'll probably only be 4 foot, but we'll get 3 or 4 of them in there. So ultimately we will get more growing space. It'll be a bit tidier, but we'll still leave a relative path here and a relative path there, so we could probably come from there to about here. So maybe 3 foot, even if they're 3 foot beds by 30 inches or even 36 inches, and I put 3 beds in there instead of the 1. And like I say, so I still haven't made my mind up. I don't know even now whether to put a bed in there with a raised table or not, or whether to use that timber to bring these up for the strawberry beds, and maybe just come down here with another 2 beds that way on instead. Still haven't made my mind up, guys. That's the fun of gardening, I suppose. Right, at least they're covered over. As soon as I sprayed them down, these insects just disappeared or died on the spot. So I'm hoping that's going to at least save me brassicas, save me purple sprouting broccoli and me cauliflowers, and the few Brussels sprouts that we have in there, and a couple of cabbages that might amount to something. We don't know what these are going to do yet in the experimental bed, but they are coming along okay. And now that I've had another good spray, I'm probably going to have to take this off again in at least another week or a fortnight and spray them again, guys, just to keep on top of it. We must be getting to that time of year where insects are starting to fade away, but maybe not. I'm right out of touch now these days. And again, we'll just wait and see whether these come on or not. If they do, they do, and if they don't, well, we've lost nothing, because we're still growing the courgette in here and the peas and the beans, living in hope. However, I doubt there's anything coming off them either, guys. Everybody else is harvested, and there's nothing, there isn't even any sign of any flowers or anything on these, guys. So they're just growing for growing's sake. However, they are definitely looking healthier, as you can see. There's still a little bit of yellowing at the bottom, but the foliage on the top, since we put the lime in there, has definitely seemed to have made a difference. But hey-oh, too late. Right, guys, that really is it. I'm going to go and get a quick cup of coffee. It's now 6:15 in the evening, and then I'm going to make my way home. See you later, guys. Right, guys, final roundup as always, having the final cup of coffee. By the time I put all the tools away, got all the sheds locked and one thing and another, had a quick check around, it's now 7 PM, and I'm well and truly exhausted. I really am. But on a positive note, as always, we got all the extra work done over in the growing area that I didn't think I was going to have the motivation or energy to do. And we did get it done. All right, it's 7 PM, but yeah, we got it done. At least I now know that's out of the way and sorted out the best I can. And it's a start. It's something else done. I know today's been a little bit of a doom and gloom one, And no doubt next weekend I'll have my mojo back and things will be fine, and it'll be business as usual, and I'll change my mind yet again. But it has been a bit of a struggle this weekend, and so considering that, I've actually done quite well. So I'll give myself a quick pat on the back for that one. Right guys, as always, stay safe, be practical and keep yourselves out of harm's way. I'm going to finish this cup of coffee and then I'm going to go down. If you're new to my channel, please do think about hitting the subscribe button and remember the little bell icon on the right, and that'll alert you every time I put up a new video. For now guys, and until next week, stay safe and we'll see you in the next video.